All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's time for race number 2 of the day. Today we are going to have, well, I guess, second race of the day, we are going to have Tky619 versus the DJ. So I'm going to get our commentators in here today. Alrighty, so today for commentary in this race, we have Verts505 and Diane. How are you folks doing?
Hey, doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Just had a bit of lunch earlier, so yeah, all freshed up, ready to go.
Excellent. I'm going to get our racers kicked off, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll get going in one moment.
All right, so welcome everybody to this race. For this race, we have TKY versus the DJ. TKY is our number 1 seed in this tournament. TKY is number 8, but this should be a very exciting, fun race to watch. They'll be starting here in just a moment. So, and there they go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough climb for DJ to climb up there, but we've all seen how it can go. One single death or a couple can swing the race in either or other direction. So yeah, that's quite the interesting take to have. So first up is Chapter 0. It's basically your standard introduction. You learn to jump, you learn to slash, you learn to open the button, and it goes on to the elevator. And that was the Chapter 0.
Yep, that's it. Learn how to go through doorways. Very exciting. Important skill for the game. We've got DJ doing the running man here. Solid controller and keyboard inputs at the same time with that.
Yeah, you need to press both left and right for it to make it work. It's a swag strat while you're waiting. So, do you want to explain how the first chapter goes a bit?
Sure, absolutely. So in this area, we're just trying to dodge a lot of random enemies. We don't have any real power-ups at this point, so we're just relying on jumping, moving as quickly as we can, and just getting good cycles. Every room is on a local timer, so we'll see some platforms here in a little bit. The goal is ultimately just get moving quickly and get on a good cycle with those platforms.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is get hit by an enemy, get off your cycle, and then having to wait again. It makes it just a bit more difficult because, of course, it's not happening right now, but in later chapters, once you get out of your groove, once you get out of your smooth movement, the chapter would like to throw you into more enemies or spikes or other dangerous hazardous objects that this game is infamous about.
Yes, it's like one mistake will lead to many more mistakes. It can be very dangerous. Nice damage boost here from both runners. Both of those big gun turret dudes you can damage boost off of to skip a little bit of killing them and get moving a little bit faster.
Yeah, basically this entire room currently is just an enormous weight-based cycle. You can slash a few enemies left and right, grab some extra cash as you go, before we actually end up on our first boss, which is the Smasher. And he smashes! That's what he does.
Surprising.
So what you need to do is most of the runners will 2-cycle him. You can sometimes miss a hit on him, so it means you need to deal 6 damage on the second hit. But both of our runners got off pretty quick 2-cycle. No big deal there. And we head up into the next room where our runners are going to try and execute actually the first few ledge clips we see. Just to get that little bit faster. As TKY and DJ both get it. That's really neatly done. They basically abuse the coyote time you have, you know, that oops moment once you drop before a platform that still allows you to jump. That actually allows us to get that clip in.
Okay, so I'm both getting a good cycle on the second part of this room, getting on those rotating platforms really well. Using some more damage boosts on the steam that comes up to just get themselves going a little bit faster.
Yeah, and this is actually one of the first start of the differences, where DJ unfortunately had to take the lower route, missing the last cycle of that room. But he did clear it completely. Tky619 took the top route there with a quick damage boost. Both of them actually executing a pretty difficult ledge boost with rotating platforms. So
really
this
well
is
done.
actually really tight.
We're coming up on our second boss, but first like main boss of the level. We've got Apparator, however you want to say it. He's gonna throw some mega shurikens at us here, but runners just get right up next to his face and hit him a bunch, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah, and the trick really is to... Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, it's TKY finishing him off before he can get these little mini shurikens that we're seeing on the DJ's side. But DJ gets a little bit slower of a kill, but pretty solid still.
Yeah, it's really tough to do what TKY did. Basically killing him off before he has a chance to actually throw his mini shurikens. You can clip his toenails still, but, you know, you'd prefer him not to throw anything at you. And with that, we've collected our first marble, orb, power-up. Yeah, let's go with power-up. Which is basically a shuriken. You use the upwards angle to throw it. And that way you actually are forced to use it on the first switch, which you saw earlier in Chapter 0. And voila! We make quick work of it. We instantly use it just to take a few damage boosts here. Whereas TKY is not opting to take the extra SP upgrade, but the DJ is, which is going to give him a little bit more leeway in the rest of the runs.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice upgrade. I probably should not skip it, but I do. We see the DJ having a little bit of trouble with this ledge clip while TKY is taking on the big old rust fly here. This rust fly can be a bit of a jerk because he will just fly up. He takes some number of hits. The DJ unfortunately taking a death there and getting warped back to the beginning of that room.
Yeah, besides all the missed clips, he really tried to go for it, but the platform and the trash just had their way with it. And it opened up, and he fell, and there was nothing he could do anymore. That's part of the game.
Mm-hmm. We've got TKY finishing up this next room and heading up into Laser Brain, picking up the blade extension to make that a little bit faster. We'll see how this cycle goes for him.
So far, so good. He's hitting both his slashes, turning Laser Brain into a big pile of mush.
That was very good.
That was well executed.
I don't think Laser Brain even got to fire off any shots during that fight.
No, he was like, forget this. I know how this is gonna go. Let's let the guy do his thing. And he is already on his way to the elevator, so on that point I'm going to slightly glance over to DJ's side, see how he's going to get on with this skip, and he just barely tried to damage boost it, but unfortunately he didn't get it. Smart to take just a small pause there. Often you see sometimes runners just try to exit, re-enter the room, try to get the skip again, but that of course is going to cost you some damage. While he is of course also on his way to buy his first upgrade to deal with the Laser Brain. Let's see, so far he's getting the good hits in. Laser Brain carrying out the shots. Ooh, doing a third one. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's the third one. Just brings it off cycle. You're not able to hit the turret that kills the trash anymore.
Ultimately, you want to keep those giant trash piles there so you can continue to get your hits in, even if the lasers start to cycle and shoot. But sometimes stuff happens.
No, it's all part of the run. You just might just miss that one slashing. You have to change the entire setup for your fight. While we're talking about that, TKY is actually on his way. He entered this room, which starts up a pretty trash cycle, if I'm allowed to call it like that, which he's going to try to get there as fast as possible to make it so that he can climb the trash elevator as fast as he can, while DJ is, of course, doing the elevator on his side. But it's a different one. As you can see here, you have these lasers on the left side. They basically blow up the trash as they're falling, and we want to stack the blocks to get up there. I mean, what happens afterwards is not our problem. It's literally now a Trash's problem, but we got through. So we're on the way to our boss of Chapter 2, which is the Scrambler. And he has flaming hitboxes, and he shoots pellets at you, and he's quite annoying. But you can just stand next to him, slice off at him, and he does it as last bit of desperation attack, tries to kill you. With the blade extend, TKY just jumps in the air, slashes him, gets a really nice cycle, and is up to the next upgrade.
It's definitely a really solid fight.
That's one of the cleaner ones. He had when I saw him streaming a bit while back, he had a few difficulties with him, but this one was really clean.
Now TKY with that upgrade picks up the Rising Fire upgrade, which is a super cool attack. We get to use it on a lot of bosses. If you have SP, it'll give you some flame attacks. Pretty fancy looking. Definitely can make quick work of some bosses. But now we've got some more platforming in this Mekacity Ruins level for TKY, while the DJ is starting the trash climb.
Ooh, I don't know if he wants to kill that block or not,
Yeah,
because he could have used it to kill that. Okay.
Yeah,
But he's gonna make it
work.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rising Fire just changes if you do not have any SP at all, which you can see in the blue bar in the top left corner of the screens. If you do not have any SP, you will not get any fire. You will basically have an unhyped attack as you just swing upwards. It's still really neat and useful. You can use it to slash cancel things, but that's basically the extent of your attack. As long as you have SP, you're going to deal 4 damage with and the slash and the 3 Rising Fire points.
TKY made it through that little mini train room that we have there. We do a lot of damage boosts in that room off of the fire-spitting bugs that are in there. So really, really well done. Definitely getting a good ledge clip there as well. And the DJ is done with getting their upgrade, so they are on to stage 3 as well.
Yeah, Chapter 3 is all about getting in the cycles, getting in your damage boosts, and specifically trying to ledge clip at certain areas. Just to save that little bit of time we can get, because the earlier chapter saving time is actually more important, because in the later part of the stage you can get a dash, which of course makes some parts more irrelevant. So I personally prefer to save time in the earlier stages than in later stages.
I prefer the same, but that is mainly because my last few splits are pretty rough. So I'll take time saves where I can get them at this point.
We can sometimes take all the time we can get.
Yes, really nice ledge clip there from TKY while the DJ is going through the damage boost train.
Yeah, once you're off cycle in the train, the green blobs, you've taken so many damage boosts that if you're going to get hit by one of these blobs, yeah, they can definitely kill you.
Yep, I believe they do 2 damage immediately, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, I've been killed by those green blobs before. It's not fun.
Oh, hey, I can make this. I can make this. No, I can't. I can't. And then you have to start the train all over again, which is, of course, a big pain in the butt.
Solid fight from TKY there on the tank, while we've got the DJ coming up, get into a similar place here. It's a room or so behind.
And TKY, just, of course, starting on that room a bit earlier, started those fire cycles and had to damage boost instead of just land, just to make sure that he wasn't being able to knock back into a fire pit and have to redo everything all over again.
Yes.
Yikes. Definitely not speaking from experience or anything.
No. This is the kind of game where you'll find new ways to die every time you play it.
Oh yeah, there's a few infamous deaths all over the place. TKY unfortunately missing his snipe position, hitting the shuriken just a little bit too earlier. It makes that area just a bit safer because you then don't have to worry about the top enemies throwing down the pellets in an RNG pattern, and you go like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Well, your option is to wait. That's it. But after a quick regrab, he picks up the situation and continues on. As the DJ comes up to his Hunter tank fight. see how that goes in a bit. And he makes quick work of it as well. Really nice first section. He's taking note of the bullets coming out of the tank. I wonder if he noticed it, that one of those bullets went on ahead, because we can still see it if we look at it. Oh no, it's already out of range. It's one of the possibilities that can happen if you jump. Ooh, that bullet just hit the wall right there. But the bullets can't fly with you from the boss battle. So you think you beat the boss, and the boss had this turret. And yeah, it's gonna be a mess if you jump into it.
Got TKY taking on the Biohunter, using the Swag Blade to get in some extra damage early on. Already on phase 2 here.
Yeah, Biohunter likes to fly around. We don't want him to fly around, so we buy a Swag Blade. Which is, you know, a lot of spinny knives on a piece of rope.
Interesting death animation from Biohunter there, floating into the air, very stoic, and then just exploding.
Yeah, if you kill Biohunter too fast, you can get a few different versions of animations skipping from him, which is actually quite hilarious, because I saw one where he actually just went upwards the entire way and just never came back down.
Excellent.
But yeah, with the Swag Blade, TKY is well on his way up to the first monkey shrine, as we've dubbed it, where you basically need to outrace a monkey to get in the fastest time you can get, to learn a new ability. But with the Swag Blade, he's on the console version. He has to be really careful, because on the console version, the Swag Blade still eliminates the lanterns in this specific section.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there's no way to take any damage to get rid of your Swag Blade at this point.
No, but he has learned to deal with it. He's going to demonstrate how he works it out in a bit. Basically, what he usually does is he tries to slash the Swag Blade in a certain direction to get rid of it, like you see here. And then take the safe way, use the boxes, get up using the lanterns, and there he is. Are we gonna see the swag? Nope. And with that, with swag, I mean basically the fire swing that Space Narc first introduces, if I remember correctly.
With that, TKY can now climb on walls. Classic, you know, Mega Man X style jump off a wall.
Yeah, but in Mega Man X you can get the dash faster.
That is true.
And
you have it right away.
Well, if we had a dash right away, we would break the entire game and go from chapter 3 or 4 to chapter 9, probably. But then we'd still lack the charged blade we need to enter, so I don't know. We can probably get up to Combinatron, or Combinatron, I don't know. But yeah, DJ also carrying his Swag Blade up to here, just to explode a piece of dynamite in the top section. Nets him that extra time. Ooh. Too bad the RNG snake on TKY's side just blocks the shuriken. You hate to see it happen.
Yeah, and it can just happen so quickly. Like, you can get a good setup and the snake can just decide, you know what, not today.
I'm gonna go up. But yeah, a bit of quick platforming on both sides. DJ, of course, doing his monkey climb. And
Very nice.
TKY is... I wonder what he's going to do. There's been a couple of discussions recently... English is hard. There's been a couple of discussions lately about how to deal with this room. He actually goes to the damage boost, so it means he has 4 HP left. I wonder if he's going to go for the newer skip, which is called the Nutter skip, which you basically damage boost off a electrical cycle just after the cyber dive door. Would you care to explain this cyber dive section, which is totally not broken?
Yeah, it's fine. So you'll see the TKY just go in there, toss a shuriken, and he's already done. In theory, you're supposed to go in there, hit the switch that TKY hit with the shuriken, and then hit another thing that explodes in a very dramatic fashion and opens a door for you. But instead of doing that, you can just hit the first switch and leave. It opens the door.
Yeah, we love to see it. Broken security. Make good use of it.
It looked like TKY did not go for that other damage boost that you were referencing with going through the electric wall there. But that makes sense. Played it a little bit safer with how much health he had.
Yeah, and it also is a little bit scary. I don't know how practiced these runners are in that relatively new skip. So it might come down into a race where you go for safety over risk. As you can see him do here, just waiting out that little bit of extra time just to avoid that extra damage. Because he's going to need it over here. Where he's going to slash this enemy, quickly jump over the flying bots, try to make this really tight cycle fall between that. And he does it pretty well. And then we have these really slow eye pillars. I'm calling them eye pillars. I have no idea what their official name for it is yet, but
eye pillars. I'll take it. Ooh, RNG snake cooperated there, fortunately.
Taking a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's okay. You're close enough to a checkpoint there that it can be okay. You don't want to die there because you are right next to a checkpoint, and it feels really bad. You get sent all the way back. I speak from experience, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Will he cooperate this time? Yes, he cooperated really nice. That's gotta be a first. Yeah, if the RNG snake at that section doesn't cooperate with our runners, they usually opt to take in a quick bit of damage boost there, just to make sure that we get through it in one piece. And the DJ doing the nice dry socks, just to avoid getting your tabby wet in water.
Excellent name.
Yeah, I tried calling it no wet feet, but someone else called it dry socks, and I was like, you know what? Let's go with that. As TKY is actually up to our first boss that's going to make or break runs, usually, which is Mecha Dragon. Yay!
Yeah, this boss is pretty tricky. You want to, you can only hit him in the mouth like that, and you ideally get a bunch of those Rising Fire hits, and you use a combination of the Rising Fire and your Charge Beam that you picked up right beforehand to inflict as much damage as possible, and also stay out of the water when he electrocutes it.
We got pretty close to a 2-cycle, which is, of course, insanely hard to get.
Yes.
But this way, fully charged gun, just shoot once. It's a really nice 3 rounds Mecha Dragon. And section D, the DJ is coming up next, so we'll see how his spawns are going to get handled with. Because the big squids and the mini squids can spawn a bit more to the left, can spawn in the middle, and can spawn on the left, right, middle. And based on that,
with that RNG snake there.
Yeah, that one just
do
hurts.
it now.
But it took, like we mentioned earlier, he took a bit of a damage boost, and it's okay. He's a bit low on health, taking a bit of safety health. Smart, because you don't want to reset this long room. At least every time I die here, it feels like an eternity just to get back here for me.
Yes. And TKY has upgraded his katana. When I first played this game casually and I got the sword upgrade, I swung my sword for the first time after getting it. It was like, oh my goodness, that sound is amazing. It has just a great sound effect to it, I think.
I actually completely agree with you, but there's a little known fact that actually the first upgrade, so you have the level 2 sword, also adds a little bit of extra range.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when you get to the section where you can charge up your sword, the range extend makes sense, but it's quite uncommon to see it happen on the first upgrade already. So TKY actually still holding on to his sub-weapon. What he's trying to do is get one of the bigger skips in the game, which is basically allowing him to get a 25-second run bonus, basically. So what he's trying to do is go through the entire first half of chapter 5 without taking him as damage as possible. So he needs to beat this mini boss here, the AI, which he does very nicely.
Also,
DJ also on.
You were about to say the same thing. Yeah, DJ taking out the Mecha Dragon there in a solid 3 cycle from what I counted there.
Yeah, that was very nice. So he's gonna beat up, a Final Fantasy Crystal and the Shadow Warriors. Or Warriors of Light? I don't know. People would like to call it different names. You don't want them to land on the floor, basically, because once they do, they can counterattack, and they block all incoming attacks. But luckily for us, you can see their trajectory to see where they're going to spawn. And if you are lucky enough to get 2 on the same side, you know that the one will spawn on the opposite side where you're not heading.
It's TKY picking up the parry upgrade, which of course the game forces you to immediately make use of. It's a really interesting upgrade. I found it pretty tough the first time I played this game and kind of wrote it off as like, well, I'm never going to be able to use that. But it's a really powerful upgrade that definitely makes a lot of bosses much faster. Pretty interesting tech with it.
Yeah, it basically, you press forward, you get it in a parry, and it does more damage than your actual sword swing does.
Yikes.
Nice, opting for the safety.
Good choice. Oh, that's too bad. No, please be careful.
Well, unfortunately,
okay.
TKY will not be able to do the skip, but he got to the checkpoint, so that is what counts. So this is a part where the DJ can definitely pick up some time if he gets his skip in, which looks to be really good so far. He has full health on his charge gun, so we can definitely see if he's going to attempt it. But he gets the E field instead. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think it's kind of a personal preference thing. I'm not nearly good enough to keep the charge blaster through this boss, so I always end up with the E field anyway. But I think when you have a fully charged charge blaster, it's a personal preference thing at that point.
A fully charged charge blaster just gives you the more offensive option, so basically you can mow down bosses faster because it does more damage than the E field, but the E field makes traversing all the obstacles just that much safer. You can basically eliminate projectiles by throwing the shield at them, and it can trigger the skip off screen as well, so you can enter a room and actually use the button. So this is actually something we do not often see, which is the top route on TKY side, which if we don't get the skip, because we can just skip this entire section usually if we had the charge blaster or the E field.
And that switch that TKY just hit is the one that you ideally want to use the Charge Blaster E-Field for. We've got the DJ has picked up their parry upgrade, and he's heading off to hopefully carry this E-Field as up to that point. We shall see.
Yeah, so TKY actually taking intentional damage just to make this sequence a bit faster, because it's a predetermined fight, a bit like Vile versus Mega Man, I've heard, where you basically are forced to lose. So if you bring down your HP to a certain low point, you actually, get through it faster. Ooh, DJ only having 1 left on his shield. So it's going to be really tight for him to see if he's going to push it through. Little known fact, just above DJ's position right now, there's an SP dispenser in case you might have just lost either of your upgrades. But you can, of course, use it to throw that extra shuriken out there, if you want to.
I did not know that. That is good info to have.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden items in walls in these games. Bit of the wall chicken from Castlevania. Quick shout out to Castlevania later on.
DKY heading into the Subject Alpha fight. Picking up a SP dispenser just makes life a lot easier with this boss and the next couple of segments here. Taking a couple of hits there, maybe just the one actually when I'm saying a couple. But finishes off Subject Alpha very quickly with nice use of deflection. Oh, the DJ losing their E field right before they would have used it.
Yeah, and it is really just right in front of the skip as well, so that's gonna be feeling pretty sour, to be fair. But yeah, having that SP dispenser makes Alpha 2 fight a lot easier. Okay. Never mind then, TKY. I will not talk about the SP dispenser again. I'll let you handle the SP dispenser in Chapter 7. But yeah, basically it makes the Alpha 2 fight a bit easier. You have more SP to burn, so you can do more pogo strats in the fight, which makes it go quicker, but it's at the cost, of course, not having the set skip. DJ, of course, excellently displaying how to use to press both left and right at the same time, going for the ultimate swang run.
Ooh, TKY almost getting a 1 cycle on the subject Alpha 2, but finishes it off pretty quickly anyway.
Yeah, the main thing you want to go about it is you want to bash in this eye that opens up, but you do not want to do that as fast as possible on the third try, mainly because then he closes his eye and will not allow you to hit it anymore. So that's going to cost you a lot of time, which you want to avoid. So you wait, you have a small bit of delay, just keep it, and then just keep wailing on his face using a pogo strat. And with that said, he is ready actually for the Falcon Shrine for his dash upgrade.
This is where the game really takes off. We get to see some new movement tech with this sprint. Meanwhile, we've got the DJ taking on Subject Alpha 1, showing off those parry strats again. And we'll see TKY making extensive use of that dash. It absolutely is a game changer in terms of how you move about this game. It provides a lot of options as well in terms of how you approach any given room.
Yeah, and the most beautiful fact about it is I heard it looks a bit like Cloud Step in the Messenger. I've heard it compared to, because once you actually use it and have SP available, you basically get your SP back. So it's always a free recharge once you hit your enemy with it and kill it with it. The and is specific.
Yep, that's the important thing, yes.
I've had parts where, you sometimes think you go like, oh, this is really neat, and then suddenly you have no SP, and you're like, okay. Because your distance, if you have no SP, you have an unpowered up version of your attacks, you basically get a weaker version of your attack. And in this case for the dash, yeah, you can't chain, and your distance is shortened. Still a good tool, but just less effective. So SP management definitely becomes a thing. In Chapter 6 there are plenty of rooms where we can dash chain a lot of things, which we're going to be seeing shortly from TKY, as of course the DJ is making work of Alpha Flight 2. The boss is mainly invented to make use of the parry as much as you can. There's no way around it, really.
TKY are making very good use of these dash strats. This area is pretty tricky. I remember spending a lot of time here casually, just because if you set off the alarm, you get that Super Mario Brothers 3 sun that chases you around forever. And it gets pretty tricky. He does a lot of damage right away.
Yeah, you can only take like 1 or 2 hits from him, depending on your HP situation, and that's it. You're done.
And we'll have the DJ pick up the dash ability while we've got TKY taking on Tunnel Cleaner. Tunnel Cleaner is a fun thing. I like this one. There are a couple of different setups you can use. It's pretty nice to be able to make use of these little exploding fire things and just smash them into his face like that.
Yeah, he's pretty much scripted, unfortunately, in my opinion. I mean, less RNG is good for runs, but his music is so good, I just wish it could go on a little bit longer. There's actually a feat that if you beat him within a certain time, it will tell you that you unlock the feat for it. I forgot what it was, though. But yeah, there's a lot of feats in this game that if you achieve a certain achievement, basically, the game will tell you that you've done something awesome. Like beating the game within the first 3 hours, which casually might be really hard for your first time.
Yeah.
But hey, good luck. It's your first step into speedrunning the game.
Yep. I think the last time I looked at the Steam stats for that basically like speedrunner achievement that they built in, it was fewer than 5% of players that got it. So it tells you, one, that this game is hard, and two, like if you're interested in speedrunning this game, like give it a try, and if you're able to complete a run, you're way ahead of the majority of people who try it.
Yeah, I think it's really respectable, regardless if you complete it or not, to at least attempt at first try, because the game really gives you the tools. It's just up to you to figure it out. But TKY making really quick work of chapter 7 so far. The outskirts, one of the most infamous parts of the game, has a lot of spikes, has a lot of enemy placements. He beat both doors really quickly. Those doors are, the first door is easy, second door is infamous just for kicking you in the face for no real reason, really.
Oh man, sorry. I was watching TKY screen. I play on PC, so I'm used to some different enemy placements than he experienced there.
Ooh, he's getting a little bit stuck there, but it's all good. He managed it fine, gets the extra safety HP, just in case. Ooh, but unlocks the skull. Skull is dangerous. Bad skull. Bad skull. Go away.
Ooh, okay, nice, made
Okay.
it. Kept all 3 points on that SP dispenser so far. And that SP dispenser is helpful through here, especially because you're dashing so much. And if you, like you mentioned, Dank, if we run out of SP, you get a super weak dash attack, and it's not fun. And so we want to avoid that, so the SP dispenser helps with that.
And it's exactly what he does. He's chaining all those dashes as fast as he can, while trying to keep it up as much as possible. SP chaining is definitely hard, especially if you use as many dashes as TKY is using. Sometimes the SP dispenser just isn't able to catch up.
Yes. DJ taking down the tunnel cleaner as well. Pretty solid there.
Yeah, it was a pretty clean fight. Had a few hiccups here and there, but he quickly picked it up, changed it into a parry strat instead, and he's on his way, well on his way to outskirts too, and I hope the doors are treating him nicely.
I learned from Strizer yesterday that those doors are called knock-knocks, apparently.
Yeah, the first half of the enemy names have been released, and I don't know why they're called knock-knocks. I think it's one of the best things ever, and at the same time, why? It's such a good pun. But yeah, you really go like knock-knock, who's there, and then you're through. As,
a little trouble. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think that was just a missed jump there, unfortunately.
he got the checkpoint though. That's important.
Yes, that is the most important thing. I died right before that checkpoint in my race yesterday, and I was very sad about it.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble with the door. Meanwhile, TKY, of course, has been English again. Sorry. He had a little chat with our favorite dragon here, which is going to unlock all of his marbles into max potential, getting double jump, getting charge slash, getting kunais, all the good stuff a ninja really wants, really.
I was kind of blown away by that change casually. Just like, you get all this cool stuff immediately, and it's like, just go try it and see what you can do. Just opens up a lot of fun options for movement and for combat.
Oh yeah, you really want to try it out as much as you can, but as soon as you try it out, the game is like, yeah, we just gave you all the abilities, right? Yeah, we're gonna throw everything at you too.
Yes, these levels, these 3 rooms in particular, getting up to this checkpoint before we say hello to EXO, are tough. So TKY making very, very quick, solid work of them.
Yeah, there's a few strategies I've seen people use, like top dash change, bottom dash change. all in favor of just getting through it as quickly as possible, because as soon as you wait a little longer in the room, it will just throw more enemies at you, and you thought you had it. No, it will throw more.
The DJ got bullied a little bit in the outskirts here. Unfortunately, lost his SP dispenser, so gonna have a little bit more trouble here. Taking a little bit of a safety duck there to avoid those acid drops, but we'll hopefully get back on track here. Nice.
Yeah, and meanwhile, TKY passing the last cyber dive room of the entire game, using quickly 2 shurikens to abuse the SP dispenser's natural ability to suddenly dash money. Wait, what? Yes, it stops the dispensing SP! So you get free cash. For no real reason, really. I knew it was a reward in EXO Part 2 where you can get money from it, but we recently discovered that in the first EXO part you needed to be SP-less to actually make it dispense SP.
It just makes the end game a bit easier. I've definitely had some situations where I ran out of essence to be able to buy some nifty bonuses at checkpoints, like an SP refill if I felt the need for it. So having extra cash on hand is very helpful.
I know one part in the third and last section of the game, the climb, where the game generously gives you extra essence if you need it. You can basically enter, exit the room, and then you get some extra essence in. I don't know if they changed that in 103 though. But yeah, the DJ also is up to the magical wish-granting dragon. I think everybody is referred to calling him Shenron because he looks like that, you know?
Gotta get your references in, right?
I love this game. It has so many references to so many different things. It is just a love bundle to retro games. If you like classic platforming, this is the game for you, in my opinion.
Alright, TKY finishing up that bike ride, and then moving on to this next pretty tough segment here. We have another bullet shooting door, not a knock-knock, but this one that shoots bullets at us. We need to take it out. Using some parries here, pretty quickly taking it out.
Yeah, he's opting not to use... Sorry, please continue.
That one's my least favorite one.
Yeah, if you're not dealing with the green enemies flying around, you definitely need to deal with everything around you first before dealing with the door, because the door also does 3 damage. So once you've dealt with everything, you basically have the time to clean up with the door. But I've seen TKY try the door clip, but in a race setting he was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna eliminate the door and just opt not to clip. If you don't have a consistent setup for it, it's just so hard.
Yep, yeah, that's the thing. I always feel like there's the strats to go for when you're trying to get a PB and improve. Then there are the strats to go for when you're in a race. Totally reasonable to make an adjustment.
Yeah, sometimes saving 2 seconds in a race can make or break, or make a huge difference. But yeah, we have our aircraft carrier here. I don't know its actual name. But this thing likes to drop enemies, likes to fire at you, but he has 3 set positions that if you deal a certain amount of damage and stand in certain positions, he is of course very patterned. You can follow him from start to finish and wham him through. If your option is not go fast or break stuff, then you're doing the boss wrong. It's literally why EXO says, let's attack aggressively.
Yeah, I think 3 cycle is the best you can get there, and yeah, pretty solid fight there. The DJ, meanwhile, on their bike ride.
He also has the SP dispenser, so he has plenty of money to spare in the end game. Meanwhile, a more uncommon side is on the SP dispenser on EXO 2 side as well. He already is on 203 essence. 205!
I believe it will continue going through this whole cutscene as well. Yep, there it goes.
I like how that thing, in between the conversation of the apparator and EXO, The little SP dispenser just flips about left and right, you know? He's literally, it's like passing on the microphone to one person to another.
Yeah.
That's what the SP dispenser was doing.
Poor Exo. See some Fs in chat for Exo.
Yeah, poor mates. We only tried so hard. Oh, yeah, he's going for a full repair. Yeah, if you have 200 essence at that point, yeah, full repair is...
Well.
Yeah. It beats out the save and quit option. Or if you feel gutsy, you can go on HP strat. Which basically, you need to navigate through a serious amount of dangerous rooms that will nearly instantly kill you if you make a single mistake. So, the best you can do is just hope for it and go as fast as you can. Which TKY is doing very nicely, unfortunately getting a little bit clipped by the Samus charge attack, or the Mario Sun. Taking a bit of 3 damage, but the checkpoint is right after, so he's on his way.
Segment. Ooh, careful. There you go. Now we got the DJ making their way to Exo Part 2, having to deal with that pretty dangerous bullet shooting door.
Yeah, I saw him also practicing the door clip, but he's gonna opt out of it, of course. I think he's on a really solid pace so far. If I look at his time, yeah, I think he can still PB. Riz PB would be mad though. And as TKY is returning to Mekacity, he of course is trying to go for the strat. Ooh, gets 3 SP, nice double under. He goes under 2 objects. Ooh, with a massive...
Ooh, that was scary.
That pogo saved his life. If he did not hit that electric enemy, he would have died and had to start over again. Which is of course never a fun thing.
No, it's so easy to die in this segment. Because if one thing goes wrong, it's pretty much over for you.
Yeah, it's like building, what's it called? Card house?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
it's building like that. Just one puff of wind and the entire house falls.
Mm-hmm.
But we have strats for backups, and our backups have backups, and beyond that, yeah, we pretty much start back at the checkpoint.
Yes. TKY entering the docks. This is a, casually you will spend a bit more time in this level because you will have to go up here in this room. But instead of going up, we just dash through that electrical shooting dude and just move right on to this next part of the room.
Yeah, we basically find little bits of Hunter tank remaining there, but since we've unlocked the dash ability, we just go like, you know what, turrets, not today. And we just slash right through them, make quick work of them. A few extra enemies there, pose no problem anymore. We are fully kitted out, we're on our way. Even though the room tries to force us with a lockout, we just, we are having none of it.
Very nice room there from TKY, while unfortunately we have to give some Fs for Exo. Once again, breaks our heart every time.
Yeah, if you're into the lore of the game, Exo can actually be pretty funny in my opinion. He makes a lot of jokes left and right. He's like, "You fool! You have freed me!" I mean, yeah, I'm gonna surf you now.
The DJ going for the Death Warp version of the health refill in this room, post Exo death. And then moving on to the very tough segment in Return to Mekacity.
Yeah, TKY is focusing on the boat, and we have multiple boat options. And there's this rumor that if you chant long boat or slow boat, the game actually gives you opposite of what you're thinking. DJ making really nice work of this room, alarmless. Nice.
I think I need to steal that strat.
It's a really good strat, to be fair, because it doesn't spawn a lot of the bomb enemies. I usually trigger the alarm
Yes.
and then force them to go into a certain direction, but that of course costs time, but is safe.
I usually trigger the bombs and feel sad about it.
But well, DJ still has the SP dispenser going for him. 2 health on it
Yeah.
even, so he can execute a lot more dashes now.
Oh, unfortunate. Lost the dash there.
I did it again. I told you earlier, you should focus on the SP dispenser, not me. As soon as I talk about the SP dispensers, people lose it. I'm losing it.
Do want to shout out TKY with a really quick Combinatron takedown there. You know, the vanilla way, which is what I have to do because I am still figuring out how to do the quick way, is to destroy the hands first and then take out the head, because the hands will heal the head after a certain point. But TKY is taking it out without that, just immediately destroying the head.
Yeah, you try to, basically the way you deal with Combinatron is you try to figure out how it goes with his hands, how to go with his head. You need to deal a certain amount of damage, just not too fast, but fast enough so that he triggers a certain cycle. And, ooh, this is tricky. Ooh, not making it.
Almost. That was close. That was a good attempt at the backup there. It's a pretty tough room.
Yeah, that definitely is. It's made a little bit tougher on the newest patch, but it's fine so far. People are already adopting to the new strategies, stuff like using the top wall route, for example.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was definitely an adjustment. I think I figured out how to do that room the day before they released the patch, and then I was very sad.
Yeah, that makes sense, because, you know, you're trying to put all the effort in and suddenly this patch changes it.
Yeah, suddenly nothing works like I expected to.
And DJ, of course, making his way through those unfortunate death on TKY side.
Yeah, I got bullied a little bit by the long string of these spiky things.
Yeah, we need a name for those. I'm gonna call them spike orbs.
Nice. It'll work.
But yeah, still grabbing all that extra SP, even though you've been chaining through. Oh no, not again!
No. Oh, just missed the platform.
That's gotta feel pretty sour.
We've got the DJ entering the docks now. I will follow a similar path to TKY with that skipping the top segment. I wish I had known about that when I played it casually, because it does make it a bit easier. There you go, TKY, nice.
Yeah, he's made it through. He's not out of it yet. This room is still dangerous. You have to wait, and there's multiple options you can do while you're waiting here. You can parry these energy bullets to the door on the right, or you can try and kill these enemies and get a little bit of SP extra, and I think he's aiming to get just that extra bit of SP. You see him not even attempting a shadow dash on the wall itself, so he's going to alter his strategy for the spider rail fight just a little bit. Basically a couple of slashes, a couple of kunais, and then parry all the onion rings he can get. And that was
nice.
really nice work.
Alright, with that, TKY moves on to the final stage of the game, which is a nice climb. Can be pretty risky. We've got a bunch of enemies in the next room in particular that just make your life pretty miserable.
Let's just hope the climb does not claim another victim today. Because so far it looks like to be true. All these enemies you see here on screen, the green ones, the purple ones, yeah, they love firing at you.
Yeah,
And their AI is made to not purposely fly into you, but sometimes they just do that, and you have no idea why. But he made it through the scariest part of the climb. The rest is just pure execution mainly. So that the hard part is over. So I'm gonna chant and hope for a slow boat or long boat on DJ's side. So he can get that 10 seconds extra.
Yeah, it was a really nice climb on TKY's side for sure. And well, off to the last boss gauntlet here. We get to face our friend Apparator again. He can now use this laser that he killed Exo with. But we're going to make pretty quick work of him here. Nice.
We have an SP dispenser. He underestimated us. But in the end, the Apparator, of course, tried to fight for the AI. And at the end, we just learned that sometimes things aren't always as they appear to be. And with that, we're really pissed actually at Progen, so we're going to make quick work of the first phase of Progen for tricking us. Trying all the parry strats. That was a pretty smooth kill.
Yeah. We're on to the final phase here. Ooh, DJ just getting that quick kill on Combinatron. The hands were moving down to start the heal, but he got in just in time.
Yeah, it's always really dangerous if you're thinking about it. Ooh, he's going for the new strat. TKY is going for the new strat on Progen and gets
very
it.
Well done.
That's a pre-G for TKY.
For a point of reference, TKY's PB, at least listed on speedrun.com, is a 54:14. So getting within just a bit over a minute of a really, really good PB in this game in a race setting is really, really solid.
He's a madman. He tries all the new stuff he can find as soon as he knows he practiced it. I don't know how he does it. I usually think so. Oh, this looks possible. I can do that, and then I die like 120 times or something. So execution-wise, this game is really execution-heavy. You gotta be on your toes constantly. You can't afford to make a lot of mistakes, really. But like you mentioned, the only thing left now is to release our master, and then TKY is done for today.
This does not get a soft lock, unfortunately.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. And with that, he's like...
GG's to TKY. Official time in the race room was a 56:25. Really, really solid and respectable time.
That's an amazing time to end your race with, even. I mean, imagine that's still the time on the second spot, I believe, which is held by two. Mm-hmm. So that's just amazing, really. I have no words for it. So while, of course, TKY has finished, let's cheer on the DJ. He's still working on his spider rail fight with, of course, the climb coming after. One of the key properties of the spider rail fight, instead of using the onion rings, is that he is apparently weak to kunai, so he can iframe him right through that. And he gets a relatively fast elevator as well, which is nice. Come on, DJ, you got this. It's just a climb. Ooh, purple enemy.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, at least both sides had the issue. Seriously, these guys just do whatever they want. One day we'll figure something out that then will be unstoppable.
But for now, if then they decide to make your life hard, they'll just do it.
They'll just fly straight into you. No reservations. Hello there, Sir Runner. Would you like your run served hard-boiled or extra crispy? unfortunately, just missing that little bit of pogo there. It's going to buy both upgrades. Quickly get into the apparator fight for the first of 3 phases for the final boss.
Ooh, that could have been spicy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I've flown off before, but I did.
Oh, I absolutely have.
Oh! You almost did it again.
I'm so scared.
He is on PB pace. He just needs to finish this. His PB is a 1 hour and 3 minutes X.
Nice.
As far as I'm aware, let me quickly grab it from speedrun.com if I'm capable fast enough.
Yes, you're correct. 103.29.
That means he's definitely on PB pace.
Yeah, very, very quick second phase there. Moving into the last phase.
I'm holding my breath here. So while DJ is fighting off, he is keeping the right platform alive. The blue one provides the shield, the red one provides extra attack, and the right one we just keep in there because it acts as a platform. But once you let it leave, it actually turns into a platform itself too. So it's quite ironic using the platform orb as a platform. Come on, DJ. Welcome, TKY, as the DJ is finishing up the last phase with a pre-G.
Pre-G. Yeah, GG's TKY, welcome.
Hello. Oh, can I calm down now? Can I settle a little?
Yeah, you can calm down.
Yeah, that was a very solid run, TKY. I was noting, you're only just a little bit more than a minute behind your PB on this, and that's really, really solid time for a race setting. I noticed that in the words are hard. The spaceport stage, you had a couple of deaths there. Unfortunately, how was that stage feeling for you as you got toward the end?
I may have a few complaints. The first thing that happened, I mean, I only realised after that death, I was like, well, I was actually on deathless at this point. It surprised me a little bit. But yeah, the first thing I undershot my second dash, so that's not a surprise. I tried to recover it, but it just didn't work out in the end, unfortunately. The couple that I had afterwards, I felt like I got a bit cheated, but a couple of, let's say, I kept undershooting my dash, getting full extension, which is on me. But every time I went to try and land and get another double jump going, it just kept on going into the secondary jump. So I must have just kept catching the platform right on the edge, so it didn't register it fully. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a little frustration there, but at the end of the day, it's Cyber Shadow. I'm surprised it took that long to Cyber Shadow me, to be fair. I was expecting it a bit earlier on in the run, so I can't complain really. I mean, 3 deaths for the total. It's a solid run. It could have been a 55 if I didn't have that happen, but then again, 56 to open up my tournament status. Yeah, I ain't gonna complain. I'm happy with that.
Gotta give the GG to DJ right now because he just PB'd during this race.
Nice.
Let me have a look at the official race times on GG because it is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 51 seconds, which is actually 2 minutes faster than his current PB. So he just beat his time by 2 minutes during a race. That's pretty impressive.
Very, very solid.
I'm gonna be scared now. No, I have to be scared now because, of course, the DJ will be moving on after this loss to the lower side of the bracket where he will be facing me. So I'm going to have to do my very best. And TKY, you will move on to round 3 where you have to face off against Space Narc.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be kind of like I've lost count. We've raced a lot of times during our streams. We just have after we stream, we just go, you know what, you want to race? Yeah, let's do it. So we've raced a number of times, so I know what I'm going to get into. I know he's going to come prepared, so I pretty much need to keep on this kind of performance if I'm going to have a chance.
And we have the DJ joining us. GG, DJ.
Thank you.
GG, man.
to Turkey as well.
Thank you. GG's.
Yeah, so DJ, a solid 2-minute roughly PB for you. How are you feeling about things at the moment?
Well, it was a rough start, especially that really bad death in Chapter 2, but the rest of the run was really solid. And like you said, I PB with 1 minute 15 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2. Because
Yeah.
you have like
I'm
a
missing.
103.
I'm not a math person.
Yeah,
Same here.
My PB on speedrun.com is not updated. I currently have.
Okay.
I had a 103.06, so like
Okay.
half a
that
minute
makes sense.
faster than what's on the board.
But still, congratulations. PB is never nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, that must have been. I'm going to watch it back, see how that went. He's obviously done some good stuff there, from the sound of it.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see how it went on Turkey Sound.
Yeah, so...
Just don't look at Chapter 10 or Chapter 5 and you'll be good.
So if you haven't followed the runners yet, use !R in chat to see follow these amazing runners, see their channels, go and support them if you can. That will be amazing. Are there any few last words everybody wants to say? Any few last things?
Just the usual. Whenever I've been in commentary, just to say like, cheers for stopping by and hope you had a good time. Still got the rest of the time to go here at twitch.tv/Strides86 has been organising this and restreaming all the races throughout this entire tournament. So big thanks out there. Appreciate you guys doing the commentary. And cheers for the race, DJ. That was a lot of fun. With that being said, from my end, I'm probably going to go lie down for a little bit.
Yeah, basically what Turkey said. It was a really fun run, and thank you, Stricer, for organizing this, and thank you, commentators, for commentating.
Yeah, we had a blast. Thank you both for the race. Really, really fun to watch. And GG's. Hope to see you both in the future. Diane Keto, I know that you're going to be racing the DJ soon. So good luck to you both, certainly.
I'll do my best.